Good morning, Monday morning here at 205 Motorsports. I'm on late shift this week, so I've done a few bits off camera this morning. Basically disconnected the fuel lines, taken the throttle linkage off. I'll disconnect it at the pedal later on. Blanked off the throttle bodies just in case. Blanked off the breather inlets and stuff. I did that yesterday, but didn't much it. I've also disconnected all the sensor loom from around the engine, so all electrical connections are now out and away. So basically all that's left to do is disconnect the exhaust system from the manifold and the gear linkages. I've pulled the clutch cable out. I've pulled the speedo cable off. So literally, once I get the 34mm sockets, I can get the hub nuts off each side. Get the gear oil drained out, shafts out, and we're pretty much ready for an engine removal. So I can have the engine out, give it a good clean over, and get the cam belt and bits changed on that. Then that will allow me to carry on with the engine bay strip and all the rest of it. So right, I've also had a look at where they've routed the DTA, the ECU, which I've already just removed. It was up here, as you can see. The connectors for the ECU are there in a quite a good location, actually. Plenty of space on a nice board, velcroed up. It was very well fitted, so there's absolutely no issues there. I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect the throttle cable and that pull through there. I'm not sure, but we'll sort that out later. Yeah, basically I just need to snip this off, and I'm gonna pull the loom completely out of the car, so get that out of the way for the engine bay work. So basically I also noticed that although they've done a very good job, let me just get a torch to show you. Although they'd fitted it really nicely inside the car, I noticed yesterday that basically, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but basically the grommet has come away, and the loom, I don't know whether you can see that, the loom itself has been rubbing against the bulkhead. Really bad situation waiting to happen. So yeah, need to get that sorted out. So I'll pull the loom away from the car, and then that's one other little job out of the way. So ECU fitted to the car. This is a DTA, and this is the S60 Pro series. The S40 Pro fitted, and I did the 16 valve conversion on the 205 XS. That went really well. It was around about 160 horsepower with a 2.5J4 engine in it. Thoroughly enjoyed working on that, and I owned the car for almost 10 years, so back in the 205 again. As much as I enjoyed working on that little beastie, it's quite hard to beat a 205. I really like them. So that's pretty much it for this part. I'll catch up with you all in the next part. In the meantime, I'm gonna get the alloys cleaned today and stow them away in my storage area, and I'll catch up with you later. Welcome back. A bit more done. Gear linkage just disconnected. and the you can't see it, but the exhaust manifold's disconnected underneath the car. I'm hoping I can get the engine lifted and swung and out without taking the manifold off the engine. Fingers crossed. We'll see how that goes. Failing that, I'll have to take the manifold off the head and do it separately. So I'm hoping it won't be the case. Taking the bonnet off, taking the scuttle off. A lot of wear on the wiper arm supports, so I want to get those changed. Hopefully get a decent set somewhere. Not the best, although the wiper motor was working pretty well on it the other week when I was using the car. So yeah, just need to fabricate engine lifting eyes. Wait for my socket to arrive on Wednesday, and then get disconnecting the shafts and get lifting the engine up. So a very small update, but we'll leave it there for now, and I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back again. Just been removing the gear selector linkages. Proper Group A ones on this, which are really good. I'll show you once the engine's out, so you can have a look at them properly. Just taken the disconnected the exhaust manifold off, because on these obviously the manifold's at the back compared to the TU engines, which are at the front. So these are obviously the opposite way around, induction front, exhaust rear. So it sweeps, the manifold sweeps a considerable amount underneath the floor pan, so I thought it'd be easier just lift the engine out and split the manifold at that point, and then when I put the engine back in, get the manifold in situ, and then mate it back together and then bolt it back down. So they're not too bad. They're a little bit awkward, especially the one on the this side, but if you release the water rail, it's not too bad at all. So the manifold now is now ready for removing. I'm having problems removing the hub nuts. Ordered my new socket. Socket arrived yesterday, and this is the result of what happened yesterday. Snapped my breaker bar, which didn't go down too well. So the next plan is to go and source either a 3/4 inch drive 34mm T-bar with a T-bar, or a 1-inch drive. I'm not quite sure how much room the actual hub itself is going to afford me. As you can see, there's only so much room between the corner of the hex and the actual hub seat itself for the wheel. So not ideal, but I'm gonna have to find a way around it. So I've sorted out the engine lifting eyes, pair of BMC engine lifting eyes, I believe, got from my mate Covey at work. Cheers Cov, awesome mate. So at least now I just need to modify them, get them to about a bend of about 45 degrees. That way I know they're the original ones come on here, these templates I made. I can go away. So I'm hoping so I get one here, get it on a 45, get it more upright, and get this one to here where the original ones are. Hopefully I can trim enough of the lifting eye so I can get it fitting in there. It's a bit tight, might just go there, not sure, we'll have to see. But I think even if it goes there and there, it should be enough to lift the engine up. You have to be very careful of this section here so I don't damage the cam cover. So yeah, just be a bit careful on that one. I'm not sure yet, I might take the master cylinder off just to avoid any issues here. I'm not sure yet, probably will do, we'll see. There's one water pipe that I need to undo. I can get to that from underneath the car from when I finally release the hub nuts on the drive shafts. And that's pretty much it now. It's, you know, those two on the pipe, and it's ready to come out. So it's Thursday today. I'm working Saturday and Sunday this weekend. I'm like an early shift, so I should be home for 2 o'clock, after 2 o'clock Saturday and Sunday. So the plan is by Sunday evening have the engine out and hanging on the engine hoist for a good inspection. I'm not going to split the engine and the gearbox. Everything's running okay. It's got a paddle clutch in this with competition pressure plate. It all seemingly went okay, no issues. So on that score, I'm not going to disturb anything. And if there's issues with the clutch further on, then I'll drop the gearbox at that point. So that's it for today. Other than that, and taking the wiring loom off, there's not an awful lot that has happened today. So until the next installment further on in this video, I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. It's now Saturday afternoon. I've just checked the car up, loaded it down on the axle stands. Managed to get the hub nuts off. They were ridiculously tight. So that's all sorted out. So basically now it's drop the bottom arms off, and I've got one pipe at the back of the engine to disconnect that I'd almost forgot about. Rear engine mount, disconnect that, and then sort the hoist up, connect that up to the lift points, which I've now sorted out. Hoping they'll maintain the balance on the engine, fingers crossed. Being an XU, not being an XU and being a TU engine mainly, and I can get it sorted and balanced. So a little bit of an unknown. Disconnected the manifold, so hopefully the manifold will slide off naturally when the engine and gearbox moves. Gearbox oil, that'll be drained when I pull the drive shafts out. Well, one drive shaft out initially, and then I'll crack on with it. I'm just going to get the engine lifting hoist in the garage from the shed in the back. The rest of it will be time lapse, and we'll see you later on in the video. Take it easy, see you in a bit. that's it. It's the engine's out. Bloody tight fit in there compared to a 205G4, and I have to be very careful when I put the engine back in, particularly tight on here. You have to angle the engine down to this side, keep going, and then good job I've got this bad boy. Made life a lot easier. The lift points, I thought they'd give me issues being close in together, but they haven't, so that's good. That's a good result. So yeah, first impressions, engine out. I've got a bit of a split hose here which I'll need to replace, so that's going. This is looking a bit shabby. It's just really soft. I don't trust that, so I'll put some silicone hoses on there. This one, obviously, it's been a modification, so I'll have to wait and see if I can modify that. We're going into the other side. It's not too bad. Engine on the whole, nice and dry, so I'm quite happy with that. Diff's got a, usual misty crap at the back, nothing that can't be cleaned. It's not too bad at all. The gear linkages are nice and tight, no slop, no play, so that's a very good thing. Yeah, just loads of cleaning to do, a couple of pipes to replace. Just had a new belt recently, oil and filter, but I will do that again anyway. Need to get the starter off because it's got a bit of a dicky solenoid on there, so I'll get that off and replaced. Just a load of cleaning now, really, just a load of cleaning, but I'll get to that pretty soon. This bolt here, either it'll spin, it'll neither go in or come out, so I'll have to investigate further on that and see what the score is, but there's no oil leak, so that's good. That's no major issue. But yeah, start to take things off, give it a good old clean, and crack on with that. Meanwhile, back at the farm, I have to take the manifold off. Bit more of a pain in the ass compared to the little TU engines. So that'll be interesting when the engine goes back in. That's going to be a bit of a pain, because I can't fit it once the engine's in, so it's going to have to be in situ. But what I will do is I'll split it, disconnect it at the joint to the system. I'll get that done. But yeah, it's manky. Nothing's been in there for years, so good old degrease, and start stripping the engine bay in the week. So yeah, pretty happy with it. No major issues. The subframe looks in good order, nice and straight. So, although it is solidly mounted to the car, there's normally rubber mounts on these, solid straight on, which would explain why it was so much vibration going in through the car at certain speeds. But never mind, I'll have a check. I'll drop the subframe at some point. I'll have to redo all the brake lines, so I've got some more photos to take initially. Make sure I know where everything is properly, and give it a good clean. But there you go. Well, that concludes this video. Hope you've enjoyed watching it, and hopefully I've inspired a few of you to have a go when you do it yourself. Mi16 engine is a very tight fit in a 205 to get out. Not much room, but not overly difficult. So but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and click the bell for updates, future updates. So yeah, that concludes part 2 of the Clubsport project. I will catch up with you in the next parts, and stay safe and see you soon.